The declaration. The shadow fell across Earth at noon. A massive ship, larger than any human city, emerged from behind the moon. Its black hull blocked the sun from half the planet. Within minutes, 500 smaller vessels appeared around it, forming a perfect ring around Earth. Inside the United Nations building, every screen flickered to life. A figure appeared on them, tall, covered in silver armor with 4 arms and glowing red eyes. He sat on a throne made of twisted metal. "Humans of Earth," the figure spoke. His voice echoed in every language at once. "I am King Vorthon of the Kronos Empire. Your planet now belongs to me." General Smith stood in the Earth Defense Command Center watching the transmission. His jaw tightened. Around him, officers from every nation worked at their stations. The general was 60 years old, gray-haired, but his eyes remained sharp as steel. "How many ships exactly?" he asked his aide. 501, sir. The mothership is 20 kilometers long." King Vorthon continued his speech. "You have 24 of your hours to surrender. My empire spans 47 star systems. Your primitive weapons cannot pierce our shields. Your nuclear bombs are toys to us. Surrender and you may serve. Resist and you will burn." The transmission ended. President Johnson of the Americas Union spoke first in the emergency meeting. "What are our options?" "We fight," said Chairman Lee from the Asian Alliance. "With what?" asked Prime Minister Brown from the European Federation. "Did you see those ships?" General Smith cleared his throat. "Leaders, may I speak?" They turned to him. 50 years ago, we detected the first alien signals. We knew this day might come." Smith activated a hologram. "Project Thunder has been waiting." The hologram showed Earth surrounded by invisible satellites. Thousands of them. Dr. Anna entered the room. She was 35, with short black hair and tired eyes from working 3 days straight. "General, I've analyzed their shields. They use electromagnetic frequency we've never seen, but, President Johnson leaned forward. "But they follow patterns. All shields do. Give me 6 hours and I'll find their weakness." King Vorthon sat in his throne room studying Earth's defenses. His 4 arms moved across different control panels. His advisors stood nearby. "Mighty King," said Commander Torak, "the humans have not responded." "They will beg," Vorthon replied. "They always do. Look at their planet, divided into nations fighting among themselves for resources. They haven't even colonized their own moon properly. Their military forces, primitive projectile weapons and basic nuclear technology. Their fastest ships can barely reach their nearest planet." The king laughed, a sound like grinding metal. "We conquered the Zebran races with their 7 moons. We crushed the Polar Federation with their antimatter bombs. These humans still burn fossil fuels." Another advisor stepped forward. "Shall we begin the attack early?" "No, let them panic. Fear makes conquest easier." But Earth wasn't panicking. In underground bunkers from Moscow to Washington, from Beijing to London, massive doors opened. Weapons that the public never knew existed powered up. The quantum missile project, developed in secret cooperation between all major powers, came online. "All nations report ready," an officer told General Smith. The general looked at the world map. For the first time in human history, every single country showed green, ready to fight together. "Send a message to King Vorthon," Smith ordered. "What message, sir?" Smith smiled grimly. "Earth does not surrender." In homes across the planet, families hugged each other. Soldiers kissed photos of loved ones. Scientists ran final calculations. Pilots climbed into jets that had been modified with experimental technology. Captain Rex, call sign Phoenix, sat in his fighter jet. He was 40, one of Earth's best pilots. His squadron of 30 jets waited on the runway. "Phoenix leader to all wings," he said into his radio. "Today we show them what humans can do." "Copy that, Phoenix leader," came replies from pilots worldwide. Dr. Anna's fingers flew across her keyboard. Lines of code filled her screen. "General, I found something. Their shields pulse every 3.7 seconds. There's a microsecond gap." "How microsecond?" 0.003 seconds. Can we hit that?" Anna grinned. "I'm programming our targeting computers now. We can—" Above Earth, King Vorthon received Earth's reply. He read it twice, then crushed the tablet with one of his hands. "They refuse?" Commander Torak sounded surprised. "Prepare the fleet," Vorthon ordered, his red eyes glowing brighter. "We attack in 1 hour. Leave no city standing." He stood from his throne, all 4 arms spread wide. "Today the Kronos Empire gains its 48th conquest." He was wrong. The counterstrike, the first plasma beam struck Tokyo at 13 hours Earth time. The green energy carved through skyscrapers like butter, leaving molten glass in its wake. But the city had been evacuated. The buildings were empty. "They're targeting major cities first," reported an officer in Earth Defense Command. General Smith watched the tactical display. Red dots showed alien ships descending through the atmosphere. "Execute Operation Thunder now." Across Earth's orbit, 3,000 hidden satellites activated. They had been disguised as space debris, dead communication relays, and abandoned research stations. In reality, they were humanity's secret arsenal. King Vorthon stood on his command deck watching Earth burn below. "You see, Commander Torak? They cannot even—" Alarm screamed across his ship. "What is happening?" the king demanded. "Weapon signatures detected. Thousands of them!" The first quantum missiles struck the outer ring of alien ships. The weapons phased through shields like they didn't exist, detonating inside the hulls. 3 alien destroyers exploded in brilliant flashes. "Impossible," Vorthon roared. "Our shields are impenetrable." Dr. Anna watched from her laboratory as her virus uploaded to the alien network. The alien's own communication system became the carrier. "Got you," she whispered. The virus was simple but effective. It didn't try to destroy their systems. It just made tiny changes. Navigation coordinates shifted by degrees, targeting systems delayed by milliseconds. Shield frequencies desynced slightly. "Sir, our systems are acting strange," Commander Torak reported. "Navigation is off by— Fix it!" "We're trying, but the errors keep changing." Captain Rex pulled his fighter into a vertical climb, plasma bolts missing him by meters. "All wings execute pattern Delta." The human pilots flew in ways that made no sense to the aliens. They flew straight at enemy ships, then veered at the last second. They performed moves that should have killed them from the gravitational forces. They collided with each other's jet wash on purpose to create unpredictable spins. "These patterns make no sense," an alien pilot screamed before Rex's missile found his engine. The aliens had studied thousands of space battles. They knew optimal firing patterns, perfect formations, ideal attack vectors. But humans had learned warfare from nature, from the chaos of predator and prey, from millions of years of survival. They fought like cornered animals, unpredictable and fierce. General Smith, Chinese fleet reports success, 17 enemy ships down. Russian forces have taken out 12. Indian Ocean defense grid is holding. General Smith nodded. Every nation was fighting with everything they had. Old rivals worked together. Former enemies shared ammunition. The entire planet had become one giant military force. Launch Phase 2. Underground silos opened across every continent. Modified intercontinental ballistic missiles, upgraded with quantum warheads, shot skyward. But these weren't aimed at the alien ships, they were aimed at empty space around them. What are the humans doing? King Vorthon watched the missiles fly past his ships. "They're missing." The missiles detonated in empty space, creating a web of electromagnetic pulses. The EMPs were specifically tuned to Dr. Anna's calculations, the exact frequency that would disrupt the alien shields during their pulse gap. Shields failing. Commander Torak shouted. Now Earth's conventional weapons could hurt them. Artillery shells, tank rounds, even rifle bullets started penetrating alien armor. The superior technology meant nothing if it couldn't protect them. Captain Rex saw his chance. The alien command ship's shield flickered. "Phoenix Squadron, follow me. We're going for their flagship." "That's suicide, Phoenix leader." "Maybe, but it's also victory." 30 human jets accelerated toward the massive alien command ship. Plasma fire filled the sky. Rex watched his wingman explode, then another. But they kept going. In his throne room, King Vorthon felt something he hadn't experienced in centuries. Doubt. "My king, we should retreat," Commander Torak suggested. "Regroup and—" "The Kronos Empire does not retreat from primitives." But these weren't primitives. These were humans, a species that had survived ice ages, plagues, world wars, and near extinction multiple times. They had turned survival into an art form and warfare into a science. Dr. Anna made a final keystroke. "General, I've cracked their main computer." "I can turn their own weapons against them." "Do it." Across the alien fleet, weapon systems turned inward. Ships began firing on each other. The rigid command structure of the Kronos Empire became its weakness. The ships couldn't adapt fast enough to the chaos. My king, we've lost 200 ships. How? How is this possible? Commander Torak pulled up a tactical display.
The humans?
They're not fighting like any species we've encountered. They adapt too quickly. Every tactic we use, they counter within minutes. King Vorthon watched his perfect invasion force crumble. The humans weren't just defending. They were learning, adapting, and evolving their tactics in real time. All ships, maximum firepower. Destroy everything! But it was too late. The humans had already learned too much. The erasure 6 hours after the invasion began, King Vorthon's fleet was dying. General Smith stood before a holographic display showing the entire Earth. Every military force on the planet was now under unified command. All units initiate Operation Cleanup. Fire everything. From the depths of Earth's oceans, submarine-launched ballistic missiles erupted from the waves. Hidden mountain bases revealed massive railguns. Even civilian cargo ships had been retrofitted with weapons in the past hours. The sky burned with the light of 10,000 weapons firing at once. Dr. Anna's virus had evolved. Like a living organism, it adapted to the aliens' attempts to remove it. Every firewall they built, it learned to bypass. Every antivirus they deployed, it absorbed and became stronger. General, I've accessed their navigation records, Anna reported. I know where their home planet is. Download everything. If any escape, we need to be ready. Captain Rex had 3 jets left in his squadron. The massive alien mothership loomed before them, its weapons trying to track the agile human fighters. Phoenix 2, Phoenix 7, on my mark, we empty everything into their main reactor. Copy. Phoenix Leader. Rex could see the exposed reactor core through a hole blown by Earth's railguns. One good hit would cause a chain reaction. But the approach vector was suicide, straight through the densest point defense fire. For Earth, Rex whispered, pushing his throttle forward. King Vorthon watched his tactical display in horror. 300 ships destroyed. 100 more heavily damaged. The remaining units were in chaos, firing wildly, their systems corrupted by the human virus. This is impossible, he said, his 4 hands trembling. We are the Kronos Empire. We have conquered galaxies. My king, Commander Torak said quietly. We conquered civilizations that fought like us, with formation, honor, and predictable tactics. These humans, what about them? They fight like death itself, chaotic, adaptable, and inevitable. An explosion rocked the mothership. Captain Rex's squadron had reached the reactor. Rex ejected at the last second as his jet slammed into the core. The chain reaction began immediately. Abandon ship, Commander Torak screamed. But King Vorthon stood frozen at his command station. Below him, Earth continued to fire. Every weapon humanity had ever conceived was being used. Nuclear warheads rode alongside kinetic projectiles. Laser systems worked in conjunction with chemical explosives. Old technology mixed with new in ways the aliens had never imagined possible. The humans weren't just using their advanced weapons, they were using everything. Reports came in of alien ground troops being attacked with weapons from every era. Swords and guns, chemicals and computers, ancient tactics and modern technology all blended into one terrifying force. My king, your escape pod. Vorthon moved toward the pod, his empire crumbling around him. As he reached it, the main viewer showed him something that finally made him understand. Children. Human children were helping load ammunition. Elderly humans were operating communication systems. Scientists worked alongside soldiers. Artists helped design attack patterns. The entire species had become a weapon. The mothership exploded. King Vorthon's escape pod ejected just in time, but Earth's forces were ready. Magnetic grapples caught the pod, dragging it down to the surface. In Earth Defense Command, cheers erupted as the last alien ship exploded. The entire invasion fleet, 501 vessels, had been completely destroyed in 6 hours and 17 minutes. General Smith didn't cheer. He opened a channel to all remaining alien escape pods. This is Earth Defense Command. You came to conquer us. You called us primitive. You thought our divisions made us weak. He paused, letting his words sink in. You were wrong. Our divisions taught us to adapt. Our wars taught us to survive. Our struggles taught us to unite when threatened. You awakened not a primitive world, but a warrior species with 7,000 years of combat experience. In his captured escape pod, King Vorthon listened in defeat. Smith continued, Return to your empire. Tell them what happened here. Tell them that Earth is protected. Any species that comes in peace will find friends. Any that come in war will find only death. The general cut the transmission and turned to Dr. Anna. Can you prepare a message packet with the battle footage? Already done, sir. Where should I send it? Everywhere. Every frequency, every direction. Let the galaxy know Earth stands ready. President Johnson appeared on screen. General, the world owes you. The world owes itself, Mr. President. We did this together. 3 days later, King Vorthan stood before the United Nations, his 4 arms bound, his armor removed. President Johnson read from a prepared statement. King Vorthan of the Kronos Empire, you declared war on Earth. You threatened our families, our homes, our future. But you made one critical error. The alien raised his head. You assumed our technology defined our strength. But our strength comes from something your empire never understood. Our humanity. We fight not because we conquer, but because we protect. We unite not because we're ordered, but because we choose to. The president looked directly at the alien king. Your empire rules through fear. We defend through love. That's why you lost. That's why you'll always lose against us. Vorthan was led away to be held until his empire sent diplomats, not warriors, to negotiate his release. Captain Rex, recovering in a hospital after his ejection, received a visit from General Smith. You saved us all, Captain. Rex shook his head. We all saved each other, General. That's what humans do. Dr. Anna published her findings on the alien technology. Within weeks, humanity had reverse-engineered their faster-than-light drives, their shield technology, and their energy weapons. But instead of using them for conquest, Earth used them for defense and exploration. The message spread across the galaxy at faster-than-light speed. Every spacefaring civilization received the same transmission. Battle footage of the Kronos Empire's complete defeat, followed by Earth's message of friendship to peaceful species and warning to aggressors. The galaxy had a new name for Earth, the Warrior's Garden, beautiful and welcoming to friends, deadly to those who would harm it. 6 months later, the first peaceful alien delegation arrived at Earth. They were welcomed with open arms, traded knowledge freely and left as allies. They carried stories of human creativity, kindness, and culture, but they also carried a warning to any who might threaten humanity's home. In the depths of space on 1,000 worlds, military commanders studied the battle footage. They saw how humans fought without honor codes, without predictable patterns, without limits when defending their world. They saw a species that turned warfare into chaos and chaos into victory, and they marked Earth's solar system on their star charts with the universal symbol for danger. King Vorthan, still in custody, was asked by a human reporter what he had learned. He was silent for a long moment, then spoke. I learned that humans have a saying, mess with the bull, get the horns. I thought Earth was prey. I learned it was the bull, the reporter smiled. Actually, the full saying is more accurate for what happened to you. What is it? Mess with Earth, get the humans. Epilogue 1 year after the invasion, Earth had changed. The United Defense Force remained active. The quantum missile system stayed online. The hidden satellites continued their silent watch. But more importantly, humanity had changed. The species that had always looked to the stars in wonder now looked with purpose. Ships built with hybrid human-alien technology launched toward distant stars, carrying not conquerors but explorers. Scientists and diplomats. General Smith, now retired, stood in his garden watching the stars. His granddaughter sat beside him. Grandpa, will aliens attack again? He smiled, ruffling her hair. Maybe, sweetheart. But if they do, we'll be ready. We're human. Being ready is what we do best. Above them, a shooting star crossed the sky. But Smith knew better. It was an Earth patrol ship, keeping watch, keeping guard. Earth was no longer just a planet. It was a statement. Here stands humanity. Approach in peace or not at all. The galaxy had learned what humans had always known. Never underestimate the warrior spirit of a species that climbed to the top of the food chain on a death world, survived its own violent nature, and chose to reach for the stars not to conquer, but to explore. The Kronos Empire never attacked another world. Their defeated Earth had broken their aura of invincibility. Within 5 years, their conquered systems rebelled, inspired by humanity's example. And in the halls of galactic power, when young species asked about Earth, They were told a simple truth. Humans are kind until you give them a reason not to be. Never give them that reason, the end.